Thanks for joining us for another edition of Broncos Country Connected. Sunday night, under the lights at Arrowhead Stadium, the Broncos had the chance to take sole possession of first place in the division. Denver's defense contained Patrick Mahomes. He threw for less than 200 yards, had no passing touchdowns, an interception, and his worst quarterback rating of his career. But the Broncos couldn't capitalize on the opportunities their defense had given them. From a 20-play drive that resulted in no points to 2 interceptions in the second half and a special teams turnover, the Broncos couldn't overcome their self-inflicted wounds as they fell to the Chiefs for the 12th straight time.
A mid-season showdown with divisional rival Kansas City would prove to be the turning point in Denver's season. For those too young to remember, the Chiefs-Broncos rivalry dates back to the very beginning of the AFL, and it's still a good one.
Denver defense has done it, and they are stunned here at Arrowhead Stadium.
So Kansas City will win for the 11th consecutive time against Denver.
But the pregame pageantry soon passed into the hard-hitting reality of an old-time feud. The Chiefs and Broncos collided for possession of the top notch in the AFC West.
Tonight, a Sunday night matchup with the Broncos on the road at Arrowhead Stadium to face the Kansas City Chiefs.
On defense, make Patrick Mahomes uncomfortable, force him into making some bad throws here tonight. Pound the rock with rookie Javonte Williams, win the time of possession battle, and don't turn the ball over.
Broncos look to break this 11-game Kansas City winning streak at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. They hand it off to Williams. Williams with a nice hold, runs out of a tackle, carries a couple of Chiefs. There's the powerful rookie with his best gain of the night.
First and goal from the 10. Mahomes out of the pocket.
This is the X factor with Patrick Mahomes. He beats you up with his arm. When you finally do get him covered, he does that.
High spiraling kick. Spencer underneath it at the 18-yard line, runs into his own player, recovered by Byron Pringle. You've got to be kidding me.
I tell you, even on his worst night, I mean, there's always a show to be had. There just always is.
They're going to go for it here, 4th and 7. 4-man rush. Bridgewater throws a ball that is caught. Sutton goes down to make the catch. First down at the 32-yard line. So the Broncos on the longest drive of the season get no points. 22-9, Kansas City with the victory tonight at Arrowhead Stadium.
Well, now, thanks to FanDuel, Super Bowl 50 champion Ryan Harris is here to point out the good, the bad, and the ugly from Denver's Week 13 loss to the Chiefs. And you saw the brightest spot for the Denver Broncos in person. Rookie running back Javonte Williams, he rushed for more than 100 yards in his first career start. And this 14-yard gain at the end of the first was just one of many impressive plays by him.
Impressive night for Javonte Williams. And this play is indicative of the whole night. Some of it's the offensive line and tight ends. The rest of it is Javonte Williams. So this is just your typical zone play. We're going to do a tight zone. The offensive line is going to go all one direction. But I always loved this play in the NFL because Noah Fant here is going to come back and clear up any hole. So you should have an alleyway right there, and that's where Javonte Williams is going to go. And it's fun because the linebackers react differently when you have a tight end going backside like that. Sometimes you can keep it front side or cut it back. Well, in this case, Javonte Williams cuts it back. But I also want to highlight one player that I had a joy watching, and that's Quinn Miners. He played his tail off. And watch him on this play. He did this all night. So there's a lot of good things happening, but 2 rookies stole the show for me last night. So as you see the play develop, you're going to see the call come. Huge block here by Noah Fant. Wham. And here comes Javonte Williams. Is he going down? Nope. And then Quinn Miners comes and he pushes another 5 yards because Quinn Miners jumped up after that block and got after it. That kind of effort, that kind of momentum and push, that has an effect on the defense and was one of the many reasons why Javonte Williams was successful Sunday night.
Yeah, we actually saw Quinn Miners do the exact same thing for Mike Boone here on this 20-play drive in the second quarter. This was their longest drive in the last 20 years. It's 4th and 2, and the Broncos decide to go for it.
And I want to take you into the world of a rookie. You just saw we highlighted Quinn Miners for a good play. And here's a, hey, rookie, welcome to the NFL moment. This is going to be a double team to this linebacker right here. Now, the issue is, one of the things you forget when you're playing offensive line, you know, there are not a lot of smart defensive players you've gone against in college and things like that. But defensive players in the NFL, they're as aware of the down and distance as you are. And when you're in a 4th and 2, this linebacker's not going anywhere. He's going to make you prove it, especially as you see he has all these outside defenders. So you know that there's nowhere that linebacker has to go. He's responsible for this gap and this gap only. And on goal line and 4th and gotta have it's, they are flying downhill.
Yep.
So you do want to get that double team to that linebacker, but that has to be a hand because it happens so quickly down by the goal line. And you'll see Quinn Miners is going to give a little too much here on Chris Jones, and that's going to allow for the linebacker to shoot the gap and make the play. So a little bit of a, hey, rookie, welcome to the NFL moment. Here it goes. Oh, a little too late. He puts out his hand like, oh, no. And that broke the play. So he'll get the coaching point. When you're down low like that in the goal line, when it's 4th and gotta have it, you got to stab and give a hand and go right now, expecting that linebacker to come downhill.
Well, he didn't learn it at Wisconsin Whitewater, but he has learned it early in his NFL career, which is great news for Quinn Miners. But now let's go ahead and fast forward to the 3rd quarter. Pat Surtain, he got his 3rd interception in just 2 games, this time on Patrick Mahomes.
And Patrick Surtain was drafted for this game. Yes, you want to stop quarterbacks in the NFL, but you got to stop Patrick Mahomes. How do you do it? Now, they're going to run what they call a scissors route. So you're going to have 2 kind of athletes go like this, make a scissors like you're cutting, and that forces problems for the defenders. But the key here is that there's going to be fantastic pass-off between Justin Simmons right here and also Patrick Surtain. They've watched the film, they know it's coming, and because they pass it off, Patrick Surtain is right in the right position. Now, this also is a little assist by Patrick Mahomes. He's going to throw it a little high to Tyreek Hill, but that doesn't matter. When you play your technique, you'll be in the right spot. This play proves it. So as the play develops, you'll see the handoff as Justin Simmons jumps underneath. Patrick Surtain stays with Tyreek Hill, and he's right in position for the catch. I also love that he went down with the football. I know that seems like something that's first nature, but when you get a football in the NFL, you want to run to the goal line. So a heads-up move by Patrick Surtain, not only following the route through the mesh right there, but also being in position to catch the football and get down. Make sure you have the football for your offense.
And that interception came at a perfect time. Surtain, he stops the bleeding, and now Denver's offense just needs to capitalize on the opportunity to tie things up. But instead, it's a quick 3 and out, no thanks to this play to Courtland Sutton.
And sometimes you can lose a game in the 3rd quarter. I believe that happened here. Yeah. And this play is as much on Pat Shurmur as it is the players. This is the line to gain. If you gain this, you get the first down. We all understand this. And Courtland Sutton, you're going to have 3 different pass catchers who are going to give you an opportunity to get there. The offensive line is going to give enough time, but the problem is, and I'll stop it halfway through the play, no one's passed the sticks to get a first down on the route. Now, 2 things. Coaches, 1, have to have multiple players that are a threat to that first down marker, but 2, they can also do levels, right? Go way deep, kind of intermediate, and then short, but you didn't get any of those here. And I'm going to prove this while we press play, and right when the players get out of their breaks, you can see here are 3 players who are nowhere near the first down marker. That can't happen. And Courtland Sutton, out of his break, he's still 4 yards away. That's on Pat Shurmur to call the play to get beyond the sticks, but also Courtland Sutton and the rest of these receivers to say, hey, this play may be called for 7, 8 yards. We got to get 10. So I'm going to take it past the sticks, then break out of my route, and that's the big problem. So as you see then, Courtland Sutton gets the football, goes down, great job securing it, but he's even frustrated. He knows he's short. This has to change if the Broncos are going to make the playoffs. You have to threaten that first down marker. Players and coaches got to do their part.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Always.
All right, well, coming up after the break, Ryan will join the Denver 7 crew for even more analysis from Arrowhead. But first, the most eye-catching stills from the game snapped by team photog Gabriel Christus. Welcome back to Broncos Country Connected. Sunday's loss to the Chiefs knocked the Broncos back to 500 and last place in the division with 5 games left on the schedule. With what the Broncos must learn from their Week 13 loss if they want to keep pace in the AFC Wild Card race, here's Lionel Bienvenu, Troy Renck, and Ryan Harris.
Thanks, Alexis, and welcome to our Denver 7 segment brought to you by 1-800-GOT-JUNK. All right, guys, this game against the Chiefs was billed as the biggest game for the Broncos in 5 years. It turned out to be the big game that got away. Before we look ahead to the Lions game this Sunday, Ryan, I want to get your thoughts on what went wrong in Kansas City.
Well, first, the Broncos did not capitalize on opportunities. You got a turnover in that third quarter, then went to a 3-and-out. You got to make the most of that situation. And the Broncos did not finish drives with touchdowns enough. You have to match touchdown for touchdown with the Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't do those two things well. I was impressed by the defense and Javonte Williams, but you have to capitalize on opportunities against division opponents in December in the NFL.
Well, yeah, Troy, you look at the stat sheet, you're like, oh, they didn't get blown out. Patrick Mahomes didn't throw a touchdown pass. The Broncos won every offensive category, except for final score, of course, and turnovers. The defense gave up one touchdown on the Chiefs' first drive. This makes it harder to accept when you can point to about 4 plays in this game that made the difference.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you didn't get points on that 20-play drive, that changed everything because the Chiefs, I'm not saying they're on the ropes, but they were vulnerable. Patrick Mahomes was not playing well. The defense for the Broncos put them in position to win. Unfortunately, they weren't able to capitalize, and then you saw them lose the turnover battle. In this 12-game losing streak, Lionel, against the Chiefs, the Broncos are minus 22. That's why these endings have become more predictable than a Hallmark movie, and I'm tired of it.
How many Hallmark movies do you watch?
I'm married.
Every season.
We're getting to watch more now. Yeah, we'll watch more now.
All right. Well, Ryan, last week we talked about 2 rookies who would make a big difference in the game. And even though the Broncos lost, Patrick Surtain and Javonte Williams, they proved their worth one more time.
Well, Patrick Surtain was drafted for this Chiefs game, right? You got to get a turnover against Patrick Mahomes. He did that. A lot of fans also want him to give a little more effort on the goal line. I'm sure he'll get that coaching point as well. And then Javonte Williams was fantastic, amazing, running the football with power and speed, but also receiving the football. He was such a force to be reckoned with. It's going to be a lot of fun to continue to watch his Broncos career.
The yak.
Yeah.
Yards after contact for Javonte. Troy, you got his first start, and all he did was set a Broncos rookie record for yards rushing and receiving in a game.
Yeah, first time a Broncos rookie has ever eclipsed 100 yards on the ground and 75 yards receiving. I've said this before, Lionel, he's the Batman runner. Boom, pow, bang. He just drags guys. He is so physical. I love watching him. Now, he did benefit from having Melvin Gordon split the workload leading up to that point. Melvin Gordon should practice this week, but Javonte Williams has earned the right to get more carries based on what we saw against the Chiefs.
All right, the past is gone. Let's look ahead to the future now. The Detroit Lions coming into Mile High on Sunday in Power Field. They won their first game of the season on Sunday, Ryan. Is this a cure what ails you game for the Broncos? Kind of get out there and just kick butt? Or could it be one of those trap games you hear about so often in the NFL?
This is a punish them kind of game. Punish the Detroit Lions for your failures against the Chiefs. Do it by running the football, passing, getting Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick involved early in the game, and then defensively get some pressure on the quarterback and get multiple turnovers again. This is a game where everybody can get confidence, and they have a huge opportunity to do it, especially at home.
Well, Troy, Kareem Jackson said after the Chiefs loss, he told the team every game is a playoff game from here on out. And yeah, of course it is, because you got 5 left. You're 6-6. There is a path to the playoffs at this point, but you cannot lose to the Lions on Sunday. That would be the end of it all.
Yeah, absolutely. You lose to the Lions, it's done at that point. And remember, the Lions, Lionel, have been rebuilding since 1960. They've never won a Super Bowl. They've never been to a Super Bowl. You can't lose to the Lions. Jared Goff, outside of last week, has been awful at times. But I'll give the Fighting Dan Campbells this. They are physical. They play beyond the whistle. He has them molded in his image. They're just not very talented, so you can't lose to the Lions.
Yeah, whenever you have a team with nothing to lose against a team that has everything to lose, that's a scary situation. Ryan, you played under those circumstances before.
Yeah, it's not fun at all. I mean, but the good thing is, great teams, it's about the opportunity. You have an opportunity to go out and dominate, and yeah, maybe the Lions are feeling good, but you can change their party real quick at Mile High. So get it done, stop the run, and make sure you execute the game plan on offense, defense, and special teams.
Troy, keys to the game for Sunday.
Well, you got to run the football. The defense just has to do what it's done. They were going to confuse Jared Goff. Some of the best games Vic Fangio has called against quarterbacks like Jared Goff that fall for disguises with zone coverage. So defensively, they're going to be fine. And Teddy Bridgewater has to play better. That was not his best game. In fact, I would say it was his worst game. He needs a bounce-back performance. The offense needs to get to 28 points a game.
All right, guys, good work. We'll see what happens at Empower Field at Mile High on Sunday. That's all for us here at Denver 7. Alexis, back to you.
Coming up after the break, we'll reveal Denver's Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year nominee and show you how the Broncos represented the causes closest to their hearts on Sunday. Don't go anywhere.
Broncos Country Connected is presented by Carpet Mill Outlets. Bigger discounts, better selections.
Welcome back to this final segment of Broncos Country Connected, presented by Ford. Today on ABC's Good Morning America, Peyton Manning announced all of this year's Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year nominees, presented by Nationwide. And that list included Broncos safety Justin Simmons. Simmons is now the first player in franchise history to earn the award, which recognizes a player for his outstanding leadership both on the field and in the community 3 consecutive times. From social justice efforts to his nearly 40 appearances at community service events, Justin's commitment to the community has been unrivaled since he arrived in Denver in 2016.
I go to these events and I'm hanging out with kids from the inner city or wherever they're from, and those kids don't care if you won on Sunday, if you lost, you know, how many plays you had. They just see Broncos and a number and know you play in the NFL. And I know this is the case for every single guy that's nominated. Like, you don't do it for that. And so, like, when it happens, you genuinely get caught off guard because, you know, your motive is just to make a difference.
Justin started his own foundation in 2020, which focuses on youth development, hunger relief, educational initiatives, and so much more. And that was represented on his feet this week during the My Cause My Cleats campaign. This year, nearly 65 Broncos took part in the league-wide campaign to raise awareness for the causes and nonprofits that they support. For outside linebacker Jonathan Cooper, it's the American Heart Association that holds a special place in his heart.
So my cause is anybody going through Wolff-Parkinson's White syndrome, which is something that I go through. American Heart Association is what I'm working with as well. But for me to be in the position that I'm in right now, you know, with that, you know, I just want to show to kids and a lot of people who are going through heart issues that you can still make it. You can still do whatever it is that you want to do, you know, and you don't have to let your heart slow you down, as crazy as that sounds.
First-year linebacker Baron Browning laced up for the Spinal Bifida Foundation. And as Denver 7's Nick Rothschild found out, Browning is very comfortable expressing himself through footwear.
The middle of Denver's defense features a new predator. But he's not so much a shark, he's a croc.
I got a pair of blue ones, I got a pair of orange ones, I got a pair of like 3 different camouflage, I got a camouflage with fur in it.
I mean, this guy loves Crocs.
And I got like a little gibbet that's like a rocket ship, and when I walk, it lights up.
The fearsome first-year linebacker doesn't go anywhere without his favorite foam footwear.
And I can do more sit-ups than you. They go everywhere I go. I do when I'm in the training room, I wear them around the facility.
But he doesn't just walk the Crocs lifestyle, he lives it.
I'm a Croc ambassador.
Hello? This is Croc headquarters. How may I direct your call?
And I just, you know, expressed how I genuinely felt about Crocs, and, you know, Crocs felt that how genuine I was about my love for them, and then just kind of got everything up and running.
Browning even got to visit Crocs' Broomfield headquarters for a photo shoot. What is it about these colorful clogs that make them so addicting?
I think just how comfortable they are. You know, it's kind of like you can slide your feet in them, but then you can kind of turn into a shoe when you flip over the strap. But I mean, I don't really use a strap like that. That's for like life or death, you know, emergency situations only.
Crocs represent a style statement, but Browning's newest cleats take up a more significant cause.
My younger brother was born with it, and he passed away from it in 2003.
He hopes to bring awareness to the Spina Bifida Association, fighting the spinal defect that took his brother's life.
I think about him all the time. I wish he was here. So it's just kind of a way to just show him, you know, that I'm always thinking about you even though you're not here, and I know he's watching over me.
Browning's dad was moved to tears.
I sent him a picture maybe the other day when I got my cleats, and he told me he was just proud of me. He told me he's made his eyes water up, and then I told him tighten up. That's something we say to each other when we getting a little too emotional.
Whether chasing down ball carriers, lounging in comfort, or honoring his late brother, Baron Browning's feet are moving in the right direction.
Well, starting tomorrow, you can bid on select game-issued player cleats through the 2021 Denver Broncos My Cause My Cleats auction to help players raise funds for their causes. Just head to the Broncos website for more information. Well, that's all the time we have for Broncos Country Connected. From all of us here at the Denver Broncos and Denver 7, thanks for watching.
Broncos Country Connected is brought to you by Ford Trucks. Built better, built stronger, built Ford tough.